Mithaba. Kulo ndawo, still setting up some things here. Yeah. Ngibingelele. On a Tuesday, I think we must continue talking about wisdom. I mean, we have this series of Wisdom Tuesday for the longest time ever. Angeke siyeke sizoqhubeka nayo because situations demand that we speak to the situation of wisdom and understanding and knowledge, the knowing. Yeah. So we had some very interesting dreams coming through in the group by some people. Ngalento kama nobaba. And the story siyajiya impela because kawumamela baba ukuthi kumatima. The same problems eninazo today about imjolo yenu did not start yesterday. Into endala nje kusukela le in the beginning of family. The first family nayo yacollapse ngenxa yalezi zinto ezongayiphathi kahle nokuthanda izinto. Because the question we had was, but ubani watshela uma ukuthi ukhona indoda engcono kunobaba? Wayazi laphi leyo ndoda engcono, you know? So that was the question, you know, we had, and then things started coming through. And kwatholakala ukuthi no man, someone was sent down to perform certain duties and tasks. Kanti uzothi mayefika yena abone umfazi omuhle ngendlela esimanga, nomfazi lona abone indoda handsome. Kwaflethwa jiki. Yeah. And then we are here. So the snake in the garden dynamic. Khona ababehlangene ngokucheat. That's all it is. It's nothing really complicated, but ukuthi kuyathusa ngoba ikhulumela into deep and esuka kude le, and then you wonder ukuthi lezi zifo zongafuni ukuthobelana nokuhlobonga nayo yonke lento le esizenzayo pha emakhaya la sithi sizama ukuzwana, kanti sizoyilapha njani na uma kuwumkhokha? Because that's what it seems like, umkhokha omdala, leli demon leli lofebe lidala. So how do we sugeza kanjani umuzi? How do you remove that curse? And it's very important ukuthi sikuvume lokho ukuthi lento lena idlala ubi yona impela ebusayo in the black family. Sihluleka ukuba namakhaya avudumele nje. Yizo zona lezi inkinga lezi zalomoya omubi oxabanisa abantu. So baxabana kanjalo kumama nobaba. Yeah. So I just wanted to give you like a little bit of update there. And lento lena ebisihambisana neyinto nomntwana laphana who's new to our group. She was sharing some of the dreams she was having with had to do with the cabal yabathakathi. And labathakathi kade angibafuna because I know only one lady they usually send ukuthi azosama amthetha ama-chance. But there are three witches. One is wearing black. ufaka izinto ezimnyama and wears ama-stilettos lawa. Ama-stilettos lawa noma lapha u-Devil Wears Prada lawa ne-soul ebomvu. And then the other one is wearing a red what do you call it? Isambato, those cloaks that these witches wear, and the other one is wearing white. So there are 3 witches that are of interest to me. So if you guys are seeing dreams there that involved these witches, in the sense of Harry Potter / druids, magic, Abo Lady of the Lake type of vibes, those are the witches that I'm looking for. If you guys are seeing them, shout out in the comments there. Tell me what you have seen in your dreamscape with regarding those 3. Because I'm looking for some intel ezongisiza ukuthi ngikwazi ukubamba. Because ngathini, this thing has more to do with ubukhosi than anything, because if you understand the mythology around the 3 witches and the sirens and what they do to amakhosi back in the days, just going through mythologies of these other people, you discover ukuthi kunalaba bathakathi laba abayenga amakhosi and whisper in their ears izinto ezingalunganga sokuthanda ubukhosi. Take for example that story of Macbeth. If you remember the story of Macbeth and those 3 witches who planted the seed yokulobizela ubukhosi, and he ended up committing crimes to usurp a throne and all those things. But that story, Shakespeare, we are it was set up, but that's essentially what it has to do. If you remember, of the ancient bull recently, what happened there. So there is that thing ukuthi kunenhleso laphana yokuthi khona owaba nomona wafuna ukuba inkosi engenabo ubukhosi, kwagcina ke esehlebelwa izinto ezingalunganga, and then we here problem, big problem, inkinga esesinayo ke ngoku. Nixelele, but ke sizothini ke, we have to be fixing these things. We have to go back and forth until we get to the source of all these issues. And because maning is not just one, there are many. Ziningi izinkinga esibhekene nazo, and in this arena yobukhosi kakhulukazi, we are in trouble. Very big trouble. So there's that. And then I wanted to touch on some of your questions here on the comment sections. Paula nanla. Iba. Paula umuntu angabe sazi ukuthi uzoqala ngaphi na ngoba mningi, but guys, carry on doing that. It's fine. I've resorted to I'm going to get another device that's going to be focusing on, so that I can get these messages in real time and see if I can respond in real time as well. YouTube Studio app is helping. Yeah. So you guys, I'm gonna just respond to some of the things, not everything, but some of the things that I find very interesting. Yeah. Tikisboneke. Okay. It senses so. Okay. Umqadi laphana was talking today in his realization about narcotics. Oh yes, this is from yesterday's video about meditation. So he's saying the aliens being inside his room. In his description, he went on to tell ugly escaping. So yeah. Yeah, so yes, it alters those things that these people take. They alter their state of mind. They go into a different state of consciousness. So baze bahlanyeka abanye ke sisithi ke sebayahlanya, but in actual fact umuntu is now trapped in another realm of consciousness, and akakwazi ukubuya into what we conceive to be normal. Umuzwa ukuthi no, man, there's a lot going on in this realm that he's trapped in his mind. He's processing the world in a way that we can't seem to understand, because asiyiboni zonke lezi zinto akhuluma ngazo. So that's the danger yokuthatha ama-hallucinogenics / narcotics or whatnot to try and elevate your consciousness. Again, lad, don't try. Again, because there are risks there. Yeah, I think that one is about that short. Okay, don't care about that one. Yeah. And then that one of Ngoku spending hours building ama-characters kuma-video games. Ngoba phela. And you know, the other one that we must not forget, yabo sis. Sis spend a lot of time building their image. Hey, baze bawuhambe bawuxhonxa amafutha bawafake ey'nqeni bawasusa esiswini bawafake ey'nqeni ayenze ama-frontali. Hey wena ha. But i-character yakho umuntu, they don't spend a single minute to build their character. And it's a shame, because uthola ukuthi abantu bafuna ukuba nalezo zinto eziningi. They want to be this, they want to be that. But the bottom line about reality is that you have to have a certain character that is suited for being that particular person that you want to be. So whatever you want to become, you have to build a character ehambisana nayo leyo nto leyo. If you want to be somebody's wife, for example, then you have to build a character ehambisana nalokho of being a wife. Not to bend ubuso and all those things. No. And this is why we have a problem. If you want to be somebody's husband, you know, if you want to be a businessman, you have to build a character of discipline and all those things. You know the things that go with running businesses and all those things. So your character needs to be, you need to mold it. You know, you need to constantly work on it and change it to become that which you want to be. But aba bantu bafuna ukwenza lama nails and all those things, and they think that's that kind of, hey. So we do spend a lot of time in superficiality, and this is why we don't know anything about our lives and who we are, because we never bother to go deep into our own characters and fix that and perfect that. And you know, we don't. You know, on the issue, your procrastination, for example, you know, most of us do. You know very well that you have an issue of procrastination, but you're not doing anything about it. You're not trying to get some discipline into your life. You're not trying to get a diary and make sure that you have targets set and you're meeting them on the daily. You know you have a learning challenge where you can't really grasp izinto on the first try, but you're not doing anything about that. You're not doing more studying. You're not trying to figure out techniques to help you remember concepts, and you're wondering why you are failing at school. So nje kuningi when it comes to this character modulation thing. We have to work on our characters, and that's the only way we're going to discover exactly who we are. That's how we're going to know ourselves as people when we get interested in character development, developing the self. Injalo lanto we Siv. Yeah, Uhlachwa there is saying we cannot have an agenda because which is, exactly the point. How are people who don't know who they are going to have an agenda? How are you going to know? You don't know even the things that we are supposed to be eating as black people. We are scissors. We don't know our diet. I mean, it's one of the most strangest thing. Zonke izinto esizikhulumayo sithi traditional food actually have nothing to do with tradition. Some of the things we had to learn to eat because of poverty and all those things. And then we say, ukudla kwesintu. We really have gone out of touch with reality. And we don't know, we are just existing in a planet and we don't know who we are, where we come from, where we are going. And that's why impela i-agenda singenayo. That's why sizohlezi si-exploitwa abantu. People are going to continue exploiting us because we don't have an agenda. We are idling. We are sitting. This is why everybody feels that we are lazy because they don't see what are we up to. They don't know what black people are up to. We just like, oh, okay, man, it's katsonke lab. They just wonder, they will just show like, but why do they not want to work? And they don't wonder why even more because they don't think that you are working for anything. Because they go to our communities, they see there in the communities. We're not doing anything in the communities. We're not building our communities to be in the image that we want. So it becomes very difficult for these others to understand, no, guys, you need to pay us a living wage. Because but my living conditions that are very, very, very minimal. Because there's no agenda that says, okay, guys, let's get our money together and let's build these things. So it becomes very complicated for people to realize, no, you need to pay us a minimum living wage. That is, because they assume impilo zethu is cheap, judging by the quality and the living standards that we exist in. Iyalapho leyo nto leyo. Singabablame abantu, sibablame, but we are also doing a disservice by misrepresenting. Well, we can't be misrepresenting because we don't have anything to represent in the first place. We don't have an agenda. I said black people need to get together and draft an agenda. Okay, we as a people, this is what we came to this planet to do. These are the things we expect. These are the things we are up to, and we stick to that. And anyone who puts in semnquma, because this is how everybody got to where they are. They were very strict. They established an agenda, and anyone who deviated from that story, they cut them down. These people left Europe to come here and colonize Africa, and the agenda yabo wayiyodwa. Kuningi ababekwenza emacaleni, but the agenda iyodwa. We need to build a lifestyle esizovaiva khona. We need this, we need that, we need that. We need to improve our quality. We need to make sure, because bebephila endaweni, honestly, that was very challenging for them. If you understand Europe at those times, they were struggling. They were struggling. Black Death ngapha, Hinna ngapha. They never had variety in terms of ukutya. Even now, you see today, if you go, you check flow yokutya emhlabeni, the various variations of fruits and vegetables and meat. Europe is importing most of that from the countries they conquered. Ungazi uye lapha le kuma raw materials. Yeke indawo zama raw materials. Ukutya nje. Food. They depend on other countries for food. By import. Because if you go back, you realize, I remember on History Channel they were going through a diet that they used to have back in the Roman times. It was quite poor. And you still see that Italy, there's too much wheat. Wheat is over foregrounding a diet as a Italian. There's bread, there's pasta, there's this, but it's still the same crop. They want one crop to rule them all. And they didn't have a variation in my vegetables and all those things and fruits. So what they did, they left Europe to secure themselves, because they know in order to survive on this planet, what bad, Black Death, read it up. The history of the Black Death, how bad things were in Europe. They didn't come here because babethanda. They had an agenda. You know, and you if you understand in the banana, Cavendish banana there, you realize, no, actually these people were very serious. Mamba wathatha banana, which was a fruit nje nayo futhi went to the South Americans and discovered this thing. Oh, it wasn't that great, but they learned from the Chinese the art of grafting and hybridization. Jiggy. You have these big bananas now that you can eat today. You see? And the story of the banana is very interesting because it's one species. And it can't go and be a various species anymore, because a hybrid is like that. It will just reproduce its own copy over and over and over and over. So now there's an issue globally of a fungi that is attacking bananas, and they don't know how to stop. Agenda. People do amazing things. And we think no. They saw their situation. They're like, we need to get to work to take control of whatever we're going through. And anyone who was disagreeing, they put them aside. And you hear kukhona belungu claiming that they were against colonization, but they never came out. They are only talking now about but they were against colonization or apartheid or whatnot, because now it's only safe to say so. But back in those times, they couldn't be out there talking about, hey, let's not go out into the dark continent. Instead, no, I want to get to that part first and claim it for our kingdom. It's very serious. People who have an agenda, they do things. They get things done. Black people, yeah, we have time to play. So that's the agenda issue there. It's a very serious thing. But then there's asking, what we don't ask, why? Yeah, we don't question things. We're just complacent. We just find people doing things, and then we just carry on. We don't even realize, of course, we're not going to realize anything because we just don't question. Ngoba safica omkhulu benza lokho, we carry on that. We don't ask them with but Kehla ithini into ngale kutheni kufanele ngenze lezi zinto. You don't. So that's why we're going to have problems. We're going to have very serious problems because we don't question. Angazi ubani wathi kubantu abamnyama it's wrong to question whoever that person, nimthole nimfake impama nimtshele nje ukuthi nithunywe yimi. So that's that. Yeah. So and then there's a comment about that never let another woman serve your husband. I'm not going to respond because it's mostly males who are commenting on this issue. Females are weirdly very quiet, but they comprise like 35% of the viewership here. So, but that's the problem right there as well, is that all to feel like they have something to defend in whatever is going on. They don't want to engage on these issues. That they are you guys have challenges, but you don't want to engage on them because somehow, somewhere, you think there's nothing wrong with you, and that's the problem. It's not the problem. We can engage. We are welcome to engage here. Because if I were to introduce a topic and talk about the toxicity of males, comment. Anyway, we'll continue that mjolo of the pandemic. There's a lot that's going on with Uma that I need to unpack here. Sizokwazi ukuphelezelana. So now Usandile is asking why Zulu men do not go to initiation school. Who are these Zulu men? Ile yamaZulu. Ubani labo? Another problem there. Zulu men. Who are these Zulu men? Ubani labo? Yani lento yamaZulu ivelaphi? Now, if you go through this channel, you realize that indaba yamaZulu, yeah, sazike. Ukuthi bazoyithini ke bona ke? Bayazazi bona abamaZulu. They must tell us ukuthi bavelaphi. I think that's the first thing we need to understand. This is why you're going to have questions like that. Uthi, why don't they go to initiation school? Yeah. Isiko lamaZulu lithini ngoba abanalo isiko. Ngibona kade ngibona lapha umfana kade esho ukuthi hey into kama wakhe lapha nikhuluma ngendaba yomhlanga. Yalethwa inkosazana lento lena. Into kama usana ukwenza into kama eqinisile impela because akusilona isiko lamaZulu. Khani meke ke ningibalisele ukuthi kahle kahle okwamaZulu ikuphi kona. Wobani labantu bamaZulu and izinto zabo sithini? Size sibuze nje ukuthi why don't they go to initiation school? Yini leyo? Because the thing you're talking about lapha kulaba bakaXhosa bathi bayenze njani? Bayokwaluka. Napha kwaZulu ithini into? Lithini igama lokuya entabeni lapha kwaZulu kwamadoda kwabafana kuthiwa yindoko. Libe lelo siko lelo. Xoxeleke indaba ungayibuza. So yes, why don't they go to initiation school? It's because they don't have a tradition of initiation school. There's a story that is told ukuthi uShaka wathi akuyekwe kwenziwe initiation schools ngoba kwasha wacima ufanelekile. No, if kwakuyisiko lamaZulu ngempela, by this time they would have done something about that long time ago. But if you go to ask them even now ukuthi okay lelo siko lelava la uShaka Zulu bemsukela nje lalenziwa kanjani, they think it's just about cutting the foreskin and that's it. Bantu nje abazixakekele le. I talked about that in one of the videos here ukuthi amaZulu Nkosi yami abantu abayixakekele nabo bazazi bavelaphi. Samele basho. Nalaba abantu ke laba uthola umuntu akakhumala kodwa uyibiza ngomZulu. Akancumala kodwa uyibiza ngomZulu. Vele uxakeke nje ukuthi manje umkhizo njani lo omZulu. Very, very, very strange things. But ke abelungu baxovizwe ke. Here we are. Balixova baliqeda nya. Sesenkingeni ke manje ke sazi ke. Semele sidonsisane sishonisane ngapha nangapha nangapha. And argue about things that we should not be arguing about because fanele ngabe abantu bayazazi ubani. And I guess it goes back to identity crisis again. We have an identity crisis because we allowed people here to come and set up ubukhosi obungekho. Bafike basenzela ama-clan, basenzela ama-border, basinikeza amakhosi, imbumbulu, and called it a day. And they put labels ukuthi now this block sothi amaZulu, that block sothi amaXhosa, that block sothi amaswati, that block sothi ubani. Abesuthu. I mean, I speak about that sometimes. A few months ago, I spoke about that. Uthi lento yomshweshwe. No Lukhuzana, no Malandela, no Shaka Zulu, no Xhosa laphana. Bonke labo bantu laba, no Dlamini lapha koSophuza, yonke leyo gang. Those were just angisazi bakubiza ngani abelungu laba. But ilaba abantu laba who were used to create a protectorate, protectorates for them. And there's a word that is used about Japanese. If you remember, in Japan, there's Kyoto, there's that. And some places were under the shogun, some places were under the samurai. Well, the Japanese are all under one emperor. Kodwa, they are very clear, we are part of this clan, we are part of that clan, we are part of that clan. And they expressed that over time, and they had different misunderstanding and wars to try and come to a point of, okay, and this is the identity we are going to take. Whereas lana fika abantu baqhamuka ngaphandle bafike ba-impose ukuthi hayi yabona-ke la sekuzoba amaXhosa la lonke niyafana la besuthu la lana-ke sekuzoba baswati. And then you find people who sound like you in the other parts of the continent, and you are shocked, and you think ukuthi nabo ba amaZulu because and then they invented, the worst thing is they invented this thing of amanguni. There's another story again, by the way, that we need to address as we go along. Kwasuka manje bexakekele beze ezweni lethu bafike basiqamba amagama esingawazi. Savuma nathi sesamanguni. Nguni languages, nguni this, nguni that. Yini amanguni? Jiki, those who came from the Great Lakes. Madoda. But there in the Great Lakes, they don't find any traces of an old civilization. Akho fossil aphaya endala kunayi fossil elizansi. The oldest fossils apha down here. Uhomo naledi bamthola la eSouth Africa. Yini ke lamanguni lawa sema-Great Lakes lawa enibizwa ngawo? Identity crisis, and we are allowing people to tell us who we are when they don't even know. But because they had an agenda, they had to do that. They had to organize us into certain groups so that they can control. And they're still controlling. And we are now caught up in this fake unity. To know if we are not uniting under these banners, Samazulu, then we have no sense of pride. No. Samaxhosa, the sense of pride. For what? When you are an imaginary thing that doesn't exist, that doesn't have any history. Because I mean, it's okay. You can dispute all you want, but the fact remains, hey, okay, if it's the case, I guess let's go dig him up like one. Sunbed. And then we can carbon date him and see how old he was. Let's find these people and bring them. Must specimen up, because if we are really, really serious about finding the origins and serious about what we think we are. Abantu bafika nje basdisplacer basifaka certain, because yabona indlela abawudla ngayo umhlaba is amazing. Inqwaba yomhlaba that is in the Free State that actually used to be occupied by omkhulu ababekhuluma njengathi, there was no issues there. Babekhona labesuthu ngapha uyabona laba sethu abesuthu manje, and but by the way they belong to under another before befike lapha. But we'll talk about that. I think I need to have a proper series talking about ubani wayekade ubani ngasikhathi sini, all the way down. La bantu babetha ama-hot and tots lapha ezansi, or the sand, what the khoi. La ama-khoi lawa kwakwabantu. I know for a fact ukuthi I had people who were family who used to have cattle lapha. Babephila at that side. Because kwakuganiselwana. So khona umndeni wakwadu lapha kokhoi in one of the royal houses there. Benemhlaba lapha nabeblusa benemhlambi ezinkomo. And then they came, they wiped out all those people to remove any sense of direction or, because manje masuthi ayikhuluma lento, awungeke uyiqale because uzoyikhomba ukuthi mupho ikhoi, because they wiped them out. They wiped them out. Behlangene lamaxoki lawa abathwa. Lamaxoki abathwa ke futhi they deserve everything they have got today. Because ibona who were very instrumental ekukhombiseni labantu i-layout yemhlaba ukuthi who's where and what they are doing. Behamba bezenza ama-scouts la abelungu. Bayazi nalolu daba lo. And that's why they wiped them out. Because that's how vicious they are belungu. They wiped them out. Now senahamba abathwa as you should have them, because even like KZN, there used to be a huge group yabathu. I have a rock art here. La. Dankla khona. You have rock art here. God. But where are they? Oh, funny spam abilu. Sebeqedile ubasebenzisa. And then they want to tell the story of ukuthi hey, safika ukhona abathwa la. Nafika ukhona abathwa then baphi? They must come and explain. Bring those Zen. They must come and explain to us exactly. Not manhlangana nale gang and nenzani. Because here's the other thing is that people understand ukuthi laba abantu bafika ngo-1652. Let's say, for example, that's the truth. In 1652, bebefika bahlangana le gang. What were they doing between 1652 and 1800? Because then you start picking up a history in the 1800s. What were they doing the whole time? By the way, it's not true they came here in 1652. They came here much earlier than that. Lento Vasco da Gama and in Natal, they went there, bafika laphana, and they set up shop. Yes, it a plan of invasion. This was somewhere in the 1300s, 1400s. And what were they doing all that time? And then Jigi, you have Omar Landel, you have Omuhlomi, you have Obanban. These strange characters that come out of nowhere. And then Jigi, the fathers of nations. Mhlola. Sinenkinga nje enkulu kabi. Amadiba laphana is talking about interesting things. Yesterday I took a bit of research ngalawo makhosi ngabesana ngahlutheka inhliziyo. Umlando engiwuthola specifically ngenkosi enkulu yamaXhosa uHintsi. Yeah, by the way, ikhanda likaHintsi likaze libuye namanje. Ngithole ukuthi ama-British amdubule amaqeda aciya izicubu zomzimba wakhe, amahlebe konke, nazo zonke izinto sukhosi ayifake iqede, bamsusa ikhanda bahamba nalo itrophy. Uthi umlando leli thimba lama-British lihola uBenjamin Durban. Waqonjwa ngale thimba. Injalo nje. So yes, so they are very, very proud to tell you of the things ababezenza, but abaziyo ngale zinto zokuthakatha will tell you ukuthi no, ukucuya komuntu kanjalo kusuke kuyokwenza okuthile ngaye. But sayikhuluma manje ngoba isenziwa uDurban. Mangithi mina labantu laba baniphethe ngekhuba lelikhulu aningizwa qobo. I say it all the time. But hayi laba banibambile ngobuhlakani kuphela. Abantu bangile uhlakani. Kunekhubalo le elibhizi la. Kwasetshenzwa ngabakhosi.
Injalo nje ayizokushintsha futhi.
Injalo nje. Kwasetshenzwa ngegazi lamakhosi la. Kwasekwezicubo zamakhosi. In fact, you know, this thing is talking about uMadiba la. It's very interesting because I think it was Utangi where I was being shown someone who was being weird like that. And the thing, it was a very fast moving scene. And I didn't get to see exactly who it was. But in Monile, but I didn't see what basebenzani ngaso. But when I was disrupted, I was very upset actually about that, what I saw. Nakhona, it's just that I was disrupted in a very unnatural way. I think it was too soon to see that thing. Yeah. But I'll probably see it again because inkulu lento le iyenziwa la. I kid you not. Into eyenziwa la inkulu. Akuzosetshenzwa la. Kwasetshenzwa ngempela like hayi kwasetshenzwa. Futhi ukusebenza okwenziwa la ekhaya ikona okwenza ukuthi sonke sinqotshwe. Sawa sonke isizwe simnyama. Sawa nje sonke. And you know, futhi awuthi ngiyeke kanjalo. So that's the thing about Damakos. Nalemkhuba yenziwa la ekhaya. Siyabonga kakhulu Mqadi lapho isibusiso sakho. Manjalo Longwane. Okay. Just gonna go through your things here. Just trying to go quickly as I can. Hey bukolo bethu. Hayi, ngathi ngiyeke. Ngithe ngizokhomenta kulezi ngoba ngiyafuna ngathi ngiyakhomenta uma kukhuluma abantu besimame because they are very quiet when it comes to these issues. Because le ama-body count kakhulukazi. And it's not an issue of morality. Yeah, I think that's the other thing. When you're talking about body counts, it's not really an issue of morality, they say. It's more of a cognitive issue. Do you understand, Uguti? In the literature and of psychiatry and psychology, they do recognize ukuthi lento yomuntu olale nabantu abaningi empilweni yakhe is a psychopath. They do classify you. If umuntu ofebayo, you are classified as a psychopath because it's a thing of you have no, what's the word? You have no controls. You see, something about your frontal cortex that says that you don't have any controls over how many connections you make. Because ultimately food lento yokufeba ihamba nokuhama abantu abaningi. You break a lot of hearts, including your own. You see, you do a lot of self-betrayal because even then toluguti you are feba, but you don't want to do it anymore, but you keep doing. This is not just about women, this is about everybody who offer by, multiple sex partners. So if you are having multiple sex partners, you are a psychopath, according to the literature. Indlela Bible. Okusho ukuthi kahle kahle uyisikhohlakala nje somuntu, and you have no fail safes that tell you or inform your behavior in a pro-social way. You know the risks, the dangers. You know that it's a form of violence. You do know, but internally you can't communicate that with your brain and say, it's wrong to do this. So it's not really a moral question. It's more of a psychological question. Uyafana nomuntu who is a malukachu, who's a serial killer. It's the same thing. The same process, the process that they go through in their brains, where they don't have feel safe and have remorse for other people and care enough for themselves to not put themselves into a situation where they are doing something wrong, something that will compromise other people. But some even take pleasure in harming others. It's a psychopath. So nje lento yama body counting, if you are able to have abantu about 5, 10 ngaphezulu, 15, 20 wadlula nje lezi number efika esandleni, it's not even ukuthi it's a moral question. Kahle kahle udinga ukuyofakwa endaweni la uzo rehabilitate khona. You are a psychopath. You can't have a body count in double figures and then think that you are normal. There's nothing normal about you. It's not even a moral question. It's not about going to hell or going to whatnot. No, Not even to mention Uti. It is a fact, Uti. If you engage in that kind of behavior, then you are an agent for propagating izifo in the community. If you know you have multiple sex partners, then you know that you are spreading amagciwane up and down. Singayibheka kakhulu kwi-spirituality because izostate because things there are much more stricter, but just in the common sense of things, you know what you are an agent of propagating or HIV or banban or STI and all those things, and you are hurting people and you enjoy hurting people, so you will continue. Man, get some help. Get some help. That's the thing, Jay, about my body count. So it's not even a question. I'm not asking. Just keep your body count low. Vala igqeyu. Vala uzipho lapha. Itotoloza ingahambi ngena noma ikuphi. Ivale. Yeah, nje ukukhohlakala. The thing is we've normalized these things and kufanele ngoba, well, what do you know? We don't have an agenda. We didn't come here to do anything. So, well, yeah, we'll end up doing izinto that are seemingly supposed to be responding to the call of nature, but nakhona we are not calibrating properly. Because there's nature and then there's responsibility. You have to be responsible about it. This is what makes us different to other people. Sihlulwa amajuba. Amajuba will stay with one partner until the partner dies and still have a difficulty moving on to another partner until they die. Amajuba lawa, the pigeons, you know, we are being beaten by them in this game. Sexual partners are 60 by the time they are 40. Some of you have 100 sexual partners by the time you are 25. It's really, really, really bad. And they claim bush. You are performing, you are exercising violence on the community. That's what you are doing. You are risking everybody's life. You are an agent of serial killer. A psychopath. Awuhlukene nje nalabo commit genocide. You are just one of those people. To be really, really honest, if you are being honest, that's just what it is. It's not your personal business, it's everybody's business, because we all end up having to suffer the consequences of all these people that you were sleeping with, and then siyakula sonke because of you. Yeah. Okay, I think that's about it. Oh yes, Matiba wants to do can you please do a video of the importance of the rite of passage? Gwen says on how to go about it. Okay, so that ties into the thing of yinile enithi ukwaluka, because lapha amakhwedini ayakwaluka sazi ke la kwaZulu. Yeah, rites of passage, I think it's one of those things we'll do. I don't know ukuthi kuzokwenzeka nini, but we will get to it. It's yeah, amasiko, that series will continue because I have to look at them from a perspective, many perspectives, and go back in time. So that's why they take long to come through, because I have to go back in time, why things were done and what they came from, because you discover ukuthi ezinye izinto zenziwa nje ingoba somebody made a pact nale genge le ekhohlakala, so now it's compromising us. Fana lento yokuhlaba, and I've questioned many times ukuthi ubani lo ihlabani, and it goes back ukuthi khona umuntu ufuna ukwenza something laphana, yamhlebela into wabulala isibane, and yeah, amathwalo, and now we are stuck because every time sihlaba sivuselela le yanto thina we thinking fix izinto zasemakhaya, kanti sivuselela le yanto endala le esishaya ngoswazi olubuhlungu as a collective. So we will talk about amasiko that need to be done and why. Ikhona question futhi, oh yes, it's on to address. There is a question on which is the right time and season to go out into the wilderness. Uyowaluka le phandle and be by yourself. In nature. There is no specific time and season. But for ngoba nina fears, especially around the snakes and stuff. So I would say go in the winter time where they are hibernating. When I tend the lakho and just go and stay there in the wilderness, make sure that it's a safe area and live there for as long as you can. So there's no limitation as to the time, but the season I would say go in the winter time because nina fears niyayisabe inyoka. So hambani ngalesikhathi la behibernate khona so that you can be safe. I hope we understand each other on that one. It's very important to go out into the quiet. I call it going out into the quiet. It's very important. Go out into the quiet, guys. Hikers, go and hike. Take time to go into the wilderness. Listen to the water crashing against the rocks and falling or whatnot. Because they are very noisy, so it's very difficult to bring harmony. Go there and just expand your pains. About the shit that's going on in your life and the complications and all that. We go through the most. So instead of looking tattoo Zola of the la, I can hambe in the quietness. Network impela, it was ideal. Just be by yourself there and come to a realization that everything is happening. It does not necessarily mean that you need to be affected all the time. And it's okay also to be affected. So let those emotions flow through and not, it's, yeah. It sounds complicated, but these are things that you need to do. These are things you need to do so that we can calibrate properly for this world. Because siyagowa kaloku. It's not even a joke. So take time to heal the self. Take time to reconfigure, retune yourself. Always take time to retune yourself. It's very important, that one. Vibrate according to the natural rhythms. So that's that. We are done with your questions. Yes. So yeah, what's going to happen now, Bahlali? We also have a Twitter page now, aka X. So follow us there on Inkosi Amakiza, at Inkosi Amakiza on X there. I'm going to set up a Discord thing. I was told that it's going to allow us to broadcast some of our group meetings there so that people can have a nice feel of the engagements we have, or if we can even possibly invite them in and then, in real time. We can live stream it here for the benefit of everyone. Because the reality of the situation is everyone is taking these platforms and using them to spread izinto zabo. And we can't sit idly by when we feel that we have such a big task. Singasho lutho. So might as well also take up the space and try to push the agenda yethu nathi ukuze izofinya kuwo wonke abantu. So that's other reason why I have Twitter. I want to use that that spaces function for conversations. We'll have conversations on spaces. We'll see how many people are following us and what they think we should talk about, and we will talk about that. It only takes us to begin, and then we can go like that. The same thing goes with Discord, because we do have meetings, but the problem is that all Teams, no Zoom, bafuna imali kakhulu, bayasilimite ke manje ke, and you can't even really stream those conversations onto this platform for the benefit of everyone. So that's the issue. Yeah, I think I have said a lot. It's been a very long video. Okay. So as I'm playing with your rocket, guys, nilale kahle. I will be back because I need to talk about states of consciousness. I need to talk about that and what it means to alter your states of consciousness and what happens. We spoke about the self, we spoke about the mind and meditation. We need to talk about when you are in the other state of consciousness, what exactly is that and what needs to happen there. So yeah, don't panic.